Hey viewers, my name's Cara, and today is the final day of Vlogstice 2024. The letter is E, and I have chosen for that to stand for Earth. But I also created a second image with a list of other suggested words, and I mentioned in that list that some of the words I put in the additional suggestions are from Reclaiming's EIEIO. I said I was going to talk about that at some point during Vlogstice, and I haven't yet, so I'm going to talk about that later in this video. But the first thing that came to my mind when I started thinking about talking about the Earth is a reading from the Unitarian Universalist hymnal that I have used in multiple services that I've created on pagan topics over the years. And so, in the middle of the night, I have decided to pull together some of my favorite chants that talk about Earth, some readings and other pieces that I like that I've used in UU services over the years, and some things that I wanted to talk about tonight. About Earth, about the solstice, about doing Vlogstice again for the first time in 7 years, and just having fun putting something like this together. I do enjoy doing things like this. So first, a piece from Barbara J. Pescan. For the beauty of the earth, this spinning blue-green ball, yes! Gaia, mother of everything, we walk gently across your back to come together again in this place, to remember how we can live, to remember who we are, to create how we will be. Gaia, our home, the lap in which we live, welcome us. And if this were a UU service, we would light the flaming chalice. So here is one of several of my favorite chalice lightings. This one is by Leslie Pohl-Kosbau. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing their names. Flame of fire, spark of the universe that warmed our ancestral hearths, agent of life and death, symbol of truth and freedom, we strive to understand ourselves and our earthly home. And I shall add, blessed be. So one of my favorite chants that has the word earth in it, that is kind of about the earth and our connection with it, is by Starhawk. It's called Body of the Earth, and I'll put links in the description to the chants that I'm sharing. We are of the body of the earth. Earth is of the body of the stars. We are stars that circle from life to death to birth. We are stars that circle from life to death to birth. We are of the body of the earth. Earth is of the body of the stars. We are stars that circle from life to death to birth. We are stars that circle from life to death to birth. We are of the body of the earth. Earth is of the body of the stars. We are stars that circle from life to death to birth. We are stars that circle from life to death to birth. So one of the things I have talked about in a video before that I want to touch on again is the idea of being earth-based, of being an earth-based practitioner. I was once at a workshop where folks were talking about space, astrology, astronomy, belief in life on other planets, that there's more out there in the universe than just us here on Earth, connection with the wider cycles of our solar system, of the galaxy, of the universe. So someone at this workshop asked, if we believe in all these things and we believe in the universe and all that, why do we call ourselves earth-based practitioners? I was not the one being asked this question. I was not the guest speaker at that time, and the person's answer was much more involved. My answer would have been, and is, because I am based on Earth. I live on this planet. This is my home base in the solar system, in the universe. This is where I work from, play from, where I create my magic. So to me, being an Earth-based practitioner doesn't mean that we only acknowledge Earth or that we only care about Earth, but it does mean that we do care quite a bit about Earth, that we do care about the planet and the environment here on our planet. We care about the resources that are being depleted. We care about the things that are not so good about being here, because we want to try to do whatever we can to mitigate those issues, to heal the Earth, to ensure that life on this planet is able to be sustained. So in that case, I care very much about the Earth, and my practice is based around Earth's cycles, the cycles of nature on this planet. While I also care about what's going on with the other planets in the solar system, and while I am interested in things like astrology, that system is also about how we are viewing the relationships with the other planets from our home base of planet Earth. Now, I know that Earth is not the actual physical center of our solar system, as some people in the past thought. But when it comes to things like what is our perspective from, my perspective is focused here because this is where I am. So that is how I would have responded to that question. And I have a whole video on that that's longer than that. But next I want to read you one of the 2 readings from Starhawk that is actually in the UU hymnal in Singing the Living Tradition. Starhawk's version of the Charge of the Star Goddess is in there, but I want to read you the other one. I associate this reading with the solstice and the turning of the wheel, and I've done pagan-themed services on those topics before, so I have this one circled in my notes. Earth Mother, Star Mother, you who are called by 1,000 names, may all remember we are cells in your body and dance together. You are the grain and the loaf that sustains us each day, and as you are patient with our struggles to learn, so shall we be patient with ourselves and each other. We are radiant light and sacred dark, the balance. You are the embrace that heartens and the freedom beyond fear. Within you we are born, we grow, live, and die. You bring us around the circle to rebirth. Within us, you dance forever. Blessed be. So that reading brings up the balance, radiant light and sacred dark. That makes me think of the equinox. It also makes me think of the solstices, the extremes of light and dark. I talked about light and darkness earlier in Vlogstice in the 2nd video about lights. Talked a little bit about cycles and seasons in the S-themed video about snow and the seasons. I talked about personal cycles. And in yesterday's video, themed around candles, there is that essence of lighting fires, lighting candles to create light in the increasing darkness, to bring back the light, to encourage the light to return. So I'd like to reflect for a moment on Vlogstice. It's the first time I've done this in 7 years. I, from the beginning, had never done it every single day. I cannot believe that I ever did daily vlogs at any point of year, but this, especially now, is a very difficult time of year for me with my energy. It is a very internal facing time, as I've mentioned in multiple of these videos this past week plus. My sleep schedule is very different at this time of year, so I've been doing these videos really late at night or early in the morning, depending how you think of it, in the middle of the night, in the dark, and they've been posted within a few hours before the dawn, and I'm usually have still been awake at dawn. So I've been really feeling into the darkness and doing that solstice vigil every day for most of this time. The middle of the week was the hardest for me, I think, because over the weekend I had other things to do. I was running errands, I was visiting friends, I was driving a lot. I did a lot of driving all in one day. I'm still moving things to my new place. And after a completely long, full day, I then also made a video because I hadn't had time to prep it the day before. I had considered doing that, but that didn't end up happening. So all of these were done day by day. In the middle of the week, I was at that depth of metaphorical darkness of, like my solstice was in the middle of the week energy-wise. These past 2 days, though, even though I've gotten about the same amount of sleep, I'm staying up, working on the videos, doing all of that around the same schedule. The last 2 days, I've felt better, had more energy again during the days, and so, yeah, I felt like energetically, my light started to return after that. So I don't know if it was just, the knowledge that there's only a couple more days. I just have to do a couple more days of daily videos and I'll have gotten through it. So I don't know if it was that, but definitely in the middle of the week I thought, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I wasn't sure if I could. And I did, and I feel really good about it, but I also know that in the future, if I can think far enough ahead to know that I want to do this, I think I would rather do it every other day like I used to. It's very difficult to do it every day for me, doing it all myself alongside all of the other things that are going on at this time of year, and with my personal cycles affecting it in such a way that wasn't always a factor for me 7 and 8 years ago when I originally did this. But even then, I knew something about myself, which was that doing anything every single day takes a lot out of me. And this year I decided to challenge myself, and I'm glad that I did. But I did really want to admit that in the middle of the week, some of the longer videos, oddly enough, I thought some of those videos were going to be shorter. They ended up longer. Just like this one could have been very simple, but I did all this extra stuff. I took an extra hour to go through and look at readings and chants, but I enjoy it. And I've been enjoying editing these, which means a lot to me. Over the last number of years, I've not always enjoyed doing these things that I always used to enjoy. I don't know that I'm always going to enjoy it every day out of the year, but I've been enjoying this process, and I'm very grateful for that. So thank you to those of you who came along for the ride and who were very excited to see that I was doing Vlogstice again. That means a lot to me, and I have enjoyed the personal challenge. Next, I would like to read to you a piece about winter by Greta Crosby. This is written in the hymnal as a responsive reading, so every other paragraph is italicized, where those gathered would say those lines together. However, I'm going to just read it all to you, of course. Let us not wish away the winter. It is a season to itself, not simply the way to spring. When trees rest, growing no leaves, gathering no light, they let in sky and trace themselves delicately against dawns and sunsets. The clarity and brilliance of the winter sky delight. The loom of fog softens edges, lulls the eyes and ears of the quiet, awakens by risk the unquiet. A low, dark sky can snow, emblem of individuality, liberality, and aggregate power. Snow invites to contemplation and to sport. Winter is a table set with ice and starlight. Winter dark tends to warm light, fire and candle. Winter cold to hugs and huddles. Winter want to gifts and sharing. Winter danger to visions, plans, and common endeavoring, and the zest of narrow escapes. Winter tedium to merrymaking. Let us therefore praise winter, rich in beauty, challenge, and pregnant negativities. Greta Crosby. I have never used that one in a service that I've planned. I've never done a specifically winter-themed one, but as I read through, I really loved that one. So I hope you enjoyed it. And now I would like to sing for you another of my favorite reclaiming chants. It's called We Are the Rising Sun. It was written by Ravyn Stanfield, and there is a line in it that I was just recently told by one of my community members comes from a poem by June Jordan called Poem for South African Women. The line is, "We are the ones we have been waiting for." We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And we are dawning. We are the rising sun. So lastly, before we close up this video and this Vlogstice, I want to tell you about EIEIO in reclaiming. So on the other little image that I made, I put a few of the words in italics, and those are ones that I had gotten from EIEIO, which is a way that some reclaiming witches describe reclaiming ritual. There are multiple words that people might add that start with E, but a couple of them I put here. I also put the O and one of the I's. So the descriptors are ecstatic, improvisational, ensemble, inspired, and organic. But I wanted to mention that because when I was thinking of other words that go along with these letters, those words came to mind, and I wanted to acknowledge that probably the reason they are at the forefront of my mind is because we talk about them in reclaiming. So in closing today, a piece that I love by Nancy Wood. Hold on to what is good, even if it is a handful of earth. Hold on to what you believe, even if it is a tree which stands by itself. Hold on to what you must do, even if it is a long way from here. Hold on to my hand, even when I have gone away from you. And there is actually only one extinguishing of the chalice written piece in the book, but I happen to love it because it's very similar to what we say when we open the circle at the end of ritual. So this is by Elizabeth Selle Jones. Selle Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And that reminds me of the circle opening. The circle is open, but unbroken. May the peace of the gods go with us in our hearts. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. And yes, after I just did that video about making sure that your candles don't do this, I'm gonna relight it and leave it lit while I edit so that it has time to burn properly. So thank you all very much for watching and or listening to this video and to all of the videos here in Vlogstice for this just over a week time period for the past 9 days. Have a lovely, wonderful, blessed solstice, whether it is the winter solstice for you as well as it is where I am, or for my southern hemisphere friends, have a lovely summer solstice. Don't leave burning candles unattended. Don't forget to hydrate, and I will see you next time, whenever that may be. Until then, don't forget to be awesome. Blessed be, and goodbye for now. And no, I did not intentionally wear the same sweater for this video that I did for the first. It just worked out that that's what I put on this morning, and I didn't even think about it until I sat down to start recording this video.